Welcome back to another segment of On-Ayer, everyone. I'm your host, Ryan Ayers. We're more than halfway through the NFL preseason. Training camps are well underway, but one player from this past draft of 2016 has yet to sign his contract, and that is Joey Bosa, the Ohio State defensive end. It's pretty shocking at this point. Common sense has to come into play sooner or later. The Chargers today announced that they've pulled their latest offer towards him, so that's going to leave an imbalance between the two parties. Joey Bosa's father, former NFL player as well, he held out back in the day in the 1987 draft. So it's probably a little bit more like a Manning family situation than San Diego Chargers being cheap. They've offered up a $17 million signing bonus, 85% of which they're going to hand over to him on the first day. Now remember, this is the Joey Bosa that was ejected in his final game of his collegiate career in the Fiesta Bowl with a horribly and unbelievably obvious cheap shot on Deshaun Kaiser, the Notre Dame quarterback. And so that shows you all you have to know about what kind of guy this guy is. Sitting out because of 15% of a signing bonus and some other contractual stuff that I read through without getting into the finer details seems to be pretty pathetic on his part. All you're doing at this point, more or less, is leaving yourself up to the possibility of having an injury because you're going to come into training camp really far behind. They're going to want to advance you, the strength and conditioning, and the coaching staff as quickly as possible. So there's that. You could get injured. Countless times you've seen guys hold out after the draft. You know, you don't see it as much now since the 2011 collective bargaining agreement went through. It was more back in the day, in the 90s and the early 2000s. But if you see it now, it just leaves you to higher risk of injury. And secondly, you're just pissing off your teammates even more. You're getting to the point where you're not even going to have anybody backing you in that locker room because they know how good you were in your collegiate career. But that aside, you still have not proven anything at this point at the next level of the NFL. You know, growing up as an athlete myself and a sports fan as well, that would probably be my number one destination as an athlete or even just an individual person wanting to move somewhere, if you will, would be to go to San Diego. Not only does this kid get to live in San Diego, but play for a top-notch organization led at quarterback by Phillip Rivers and a whole host of other great athletes as well. So I think my best advice for this kid is get into camp. You make the money. I don't see how it's beneficial to you to sit out all the way until the first day of the 2017 draft and basically re-enter. That's a lot of money lost. Get out of shape quickly when you're not in a program or with a franchise. And I think, like I said, it's time to get in. Make the move. You'll make the money someday, and you're already going to get 85% of $17 million up front. You just have to wait maybe another 6 months to get the 15% remaining. That'll be paid to you in March. So, with that, I want to let you know, you've just been on air, and I am Ryan Ayers.